Welcome to the HuntLeague channel. I'm Jared Newman, founder of the HuntLeague mobile app. Today, we are heading to the range with Wally King, the 2023 Outdoorsman of the Year. The intent is to test adding a cheek riser to the rifle stock to see if it actually improves our group sizes. Sounds like a simple test, right? Well, not so fast. I'm opting to leave this portion of our range time completely unedited. I've sped up a few sections where there's no dialogue, but I want you to see the obstacles, hear the conversation, and the questions that arise before our time ran out. Now, this is Wally's first time behind a Bergara rifle and a Burris Veracity PH scope. We'll be shooting the Squared Crest rifle in 6.5 PRC, which is one of the 4 Bergara rifles that we built specifically for this rifle build series. You will get his first impressions and feedback along the way, so let's dive right into this test. This is the first time you've ever held a Bergara, right?
Yeah, it's very, very sweet feeling.
So I want you have Seekins, you have Tikka, you have all these. Give me your legitimate first impressions of this rifle.
Mechanically, that sucker's tight. Like, the action feels like really well machined. Tikkas and Seekins, they're kind of like in that same, I'd say everything feels equally tight. It's balanced. Man, I mean, the thing that stood out to me the most is the stock is sweet.
Stock.
That's on a factory rifle. That is something else.
This is their Crest rifle.
Yeah.
And it has pretty much a custom stock that they built for it.
Yeah.
And if you really look at the mechanics of it, it has a spine of carbon that goes through it and then foam on the outside.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's actually dense.
Wow.
So it's going to absorb more of that recoil. You're going to feel it. Like when you shoot it, it's like, okay, you feel the quality of that stock.
Interesting.
On that action. Okay, so 2 things I want you to look at. So you've never looked through a Burris scope before either, have you?
I did at the show, but I haven't shot one yet.
So this one, there's a display thing that says off, so where normally your parallax is.
Yeah.
Look at that, and I want you to turn that to like, turn the dial where it says like 2 or 3 or something like that. Yeah, and now look through.
There we go. Oh yeah, the heads-up display in there.
So you got the heads-up display, and now, like if I told you to dial, like let's say we're on an elk, and I'm like, okay, there's an elk at 350. Show me, like without ever pulling your head out of the scope to look at your turrets.
That's so slick.
You can go straight there.
That is really cool.
All right. Okay, so here's what we're doing on this today. I brought a cheek rest that's right behind you, like that mystery ranch that's back there. I want you to shoot a 3-shot group with the stock naked as it is. And then I'll shoot a 3-shot group. So let's go like upper left, upper right for these first 2. And then I want to put the cheek riser on. And I just want to see if like, does it do anything with our group? Because you're obviously changing parallax and muscle, just to get that cheek riser.
Yeah.
And you've never shot a Bergara, so I also want to see.
I always wanted to shoot a Bergara. I've always known they were really nice rifles. And this has a really heavy barrel contour, which I'm a fan of. I do like a light barrel for hunting, but if you're going to practice, a heavy barrel will get you more practice because not only does it take up some of the recoil, but it doesn't get hot as fast.
Yeah.
And like my Tikka, I can only shoot like 5 shots and I got to wait 10 minutes.
Yeah. Because
it's such a thin profile.
So this one, I think the overall weight without the scope is somewhere like 7.4.
That's pretty light for such a heavy barrel. So that's a good compromise. Like, that's one thing I like about the Seekins is like, it's so light that it allowed me to put some heavy equipment on it that I want to have, like a heavy duty scope and, all the cheek riser and stuff. And I don't want a gun to be too light because then it just gets twitchy. So, yeah. I mean, this probably comes at around 9 to 10 pounds with the scope. Yeah,
I wanted to do it all sub 10. So I think the PH, the Veracity PH, I think is like 27 ounces. So, and that one, we actually have a rail instead of a direct mount system. Like we did the Hawkins Precision direct mount, but that one has I think a 20 MOA rail.
Nice.
But let's go ahead and send it. Tell me what you think. Give me some first impressions. I don't know. I know we had some guys shooting it the other day, but I don't know where the zero really is. It'll be on paper.
Yeah, as long as I can see my group, that's all I care about at this point. It's a little low with that bipod for...
Bring the bipod up.
No, I mean, it's, well, yeah, you're right. What am I thinking? I can do that. Just one. That'll be a little more comfortable.
And then use this. Do you want to use this sandbag?
No, I'm familiar with this one, so I'll just use this one. I can't tell what my level is, but I'm just going to eyeball it. Seems a little canted. It definitely is. Is there a way to lock?
Oh, there's a level in the scope.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Oh, what do I do?
So look at it like as you cant it, look at the level on top in the heads-up
Oh, I
display.
see it. Yep.
You see it?
Okay, yep. Okay. Nice solid safety on there too. Wow, look at that 20 power. Easy to see. All right, I'm going to take top left.
Where's your parallax set?
It's a set at 100.
You're good?
Yep. Well, I want to lock. Is there a way to lock the cant on this? Because it keeps canting
like
right.
The junkiest bipod.
It's
It's literally like a $20 bipod on Amazon.
Okay, I think I bent the metal a little bit. That'll help.
Are you just fighting the cant on it?
Yeah. All right, here we go. Ready, fire in the hole.
A little bit louder with that.
That's a muzzle brake.
I forgot. We're not shooting suppressed anymore.
I'm in the red. Yeah, that was a surprise. I was like, whoa.
I was just as surprised because I got used to the Hux works.
It's
And I was
like shooting a bow and arrow, right? With that suppressor. All right, here we go. Number 2. So you have to turn the HUD on and off in order to
keep it. I have that's on the app. I just have it set to like 30 seconds where it times out. And I can go in and update that so it doesn't time out. Yeah, that muzzle brake blowing it all back in. I'm breathing it back here.
Oh, wow. I'm way high on that last one. Yeah, like I'm 1.5 inches away from my first shot. I don't think I jerked, but we'll see. I feel like I'm putting too much input into the rifle because the bipod keeps wanting to push it to the right. So that's not giving the rifle the fair advantage it deserves, really.
Yeah, I don't know if we should just throw some sandbags and stuff up there and build a base.
Maybe. Well, that second one was right next to the first, so my hunch is that I was putting too much input into the rifle to hold it steady.
Go ahead and shoot a 4-round group just to eliminate a flyer.
Yeah.
And if we want to rip that bipod, we can just do this and that.
I'll stick with it for now since it's the same group. The built-in level's nice, but I'll say I like a bubble better.
Yeah, not a digital.
Yeah.
But if you're in the field,
yeah, that's handy.
If you don't have one, it's better than nothing.
Oh yeah.
You still have to set the digital level, like which is pretty cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that one was a little off too.
I saw you're constantly torquing it.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on because I'm squeezing this tight to hold it on where it's level. And then when I hit when it recoils, all it has to do is move like 1/1000th of an inch from the ignition in here before the bullet leaves the barrel, and that's gonna.
Give me a barrel. What's the heat like on the? How hot are we? Not.
Nah, that's one thing I like about these heavy barrels.
Yeah, I think it's a number 5 profile.
Yeah, it's nice. So yeah, I'd probably better off not using this. And but I don't know if we have a high enough sandbag. I guess we could.
No, double it up. No, do that. I got this one back here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. I mean, that still sucks.
Well, then there's also the whole. I don't have the cheek rest.
Yeah.
But if we put one on there, then we can actually at least use this as a way to demonstrate the difference between compensating versus relaxing while you're shooting.
So let's see if we can get the sandbag thing to work. And I have another one if we need to like set up.
It's a little low
why don't
still.
Let's redo that 3-shot and just go I guess upper right, you know, with it.
Yeah, that holds steadier, even though it's a little awkward.
Yeah, you're not fighting the gun the whole time.
Right, I just got to be able to get it to sit where I want it.
Yeah, that's what a $20 bipod will do for you. But I had that little, there was nothing up there, so I didn't have a way to connect a Spartan.
Right.
And I didn't have I grabbed that little Caldwell Picatinny stud adapter.
Yeah.
And screwed it on right before I came, just so we could put a bipod. But
better than nothing.
Yeah. All right, so this is the second 3-round group, and we don't have the cheeky riser on there, obviously.
And instead of going with the level, I'm just going to line up the crosshairs with the lines on the target.
I like it.
It's just easier. For this purpose, that's fine.
Yeah, as long as it's consistent, that's what we're looking for.
Yep.
Smooth though, isn't it?
Real smooth. I like it, man. It feels really good. That's one of the better actions I've felt. Hi. Not grouping well.
We haven't tested this ammo with that, but that's not good.
Yeah, I know that wasn't me.
Okay.
Because I can shoot one more if you want, but you don't have to use this.
I mean,
wait till you find the right loads.
That's not really for anything.
Do you want to save the bullet, or do you want me to shoot again? It was 2 inches off.
Really?
I mean, every ammo is going to fit the chamber differently, depending, so it's like, you might just go 7 grains different on the weight of the bullet with the same. It could be an ELDM 130 versus a 123, and that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, we just need to run a test on it and see what this likes. But
do you want me to do this one or not?
Go for it. We'll shoot one more. Let's shoot one more, and then let's add the cheek riser and just see. Because
I am like lifting, I'm having to hold my head as opposed to resting it, so that's something. I'm having to hold my head instead of rest it.
Correct. I'm gonna come right behind you and grab the cheeky riser.
That one was pretty close to the last shot.
Because that's kind of what I want to test though, is if you don't same cheek weld.
Yep.
Is that going to mess things up? So I know we gotta hurry. So let's slide. Yeah! Let's go!
how do you lift it? How do you rise it?
So put this about here, and then you got these shims.
You shim it.
And I'm gonna slide this forward. Now, what do you think you need? Probably a 1/2 inch?
Yeah, and I'm actually thinking maybe I'll put the bipod back on, but I'll just let it cant it where it wants to cant naturally, and
shoot it that way. As long as they're the same,
yeah,
you should be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, see where that lines up as far as natural point of aim.
No, that's way too loose. I'm not using that. It's just like wobbling all over the place. Yeah. All right, let's see.
Too high, too low? Just
on the
right?
money, dude.
It's money?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like it was probably...
I can hold way steadier with that.
That's what I want to test.
All right. If it doesn't shoot well this time, then I'm going to say this ammo's not right for this gun.
Yeah. The other thing that I really like, though, with this is I do like that I can carry an extra mag or a couple extra rounds in this. And I always keep my tools for my scope if anything ever loses zero.
Right.
And it's like it's with me in the field, which I like.
Nice.
I mean, I have the hard, like the plastics and the polymers, the Kydex. I have a couple of those, which are rock solid, which I like too. But I do kind of like having.
That is nice.
And it's nice on. It's cushiony. Like
yeah.
You don't ever get like rock with a hard piece of plastic.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I ended up padding the one on the Seekins for that reason. It's like, oh, nice little touch, you know. You know what? I should adjust the reticle too, so it's focused.
All right, which target are you going for?
Bottom left.
Bottom left?
Red.
It's not bad. Oh yeah, that's gonna get in the way. That's gotta be reset based on your eye.
Yeah. That's how it is when Reed and I share a rifle. About an inch high. Not too bad.
Your second shot has always been,
yeah.
You know, and I'm like that, and it's not because the barrel's cooled down. You know,
I think it's just a coincidence. I just think that's a coincidence. We'll see. Hopefully I can get this one right in the center of those two. Better group. This actually represents what the rifle's doing, I think. It made a difference. I mean, if we really wanted to know, we'd shoot.
Here, before you pull it in, or you can, let me shoot 3 and then we got to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot 3 at the bottom right. Is that correct? That one has it then?
Yep.
And I just want to see, was there something you're grabbing?
I got used to not having to breathe that gas. I'm surprised that with the bolt gun, I'm getting so much of it.
I think it has to do with just the muzzle brake hitting the sidewall, you know? Like, you're not going to be breathing it the same way.
And yeah. Well, and if that...
The other thing, too, that's nice, I mean, they send you a metal mag, like instead of like a cheap junk
plastic mag, I know,
like,
yeah.
Everything about this is so, like,
nice.
Quality.
Yeah.
All right.
It kicks less than mine with the suppressor. I can tell that for sure. But I mean, even then, it doesn't kick that much.
I'm gonna pop that off. It kicks less. Just feel the muzzle brake.
Muzzle brake's more effective at recoil.
And I'm telling you though too, this stock has something to do with.
It absorbs probably vibration. Yeah.
It's such a good quality stock, and
yeah,
it makes a difference.
Yep.
So you just used. It's not boiling, but it's warm.
It's probably got another 5-10 shots in it.
Oh, did you have you keep the reticle lit?
Huh?
You had the reticle still lit up?
No, I didn't think I did, but oh yeah, the reticle is lit. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking a heads up.
This is like the worst base I can think of, but elevation's good. I was at least a ½ inch right, almost, from dead center, I'm probably an inch right. Man, I feel like I'm fighting this system.
Yeah. Just get all your muscle input out of it before you let it rip.
We're gonna be out of time, so let's see what we got. I mean, I didn't have the same ammo. I think my group stayed like, I didn't feel like I didn't like this front. This front's terrible. Like there's nothing about that feels
Can't
like
lean into it.
I'm not stable. This, from the last time I shot this rifle, this is a game changer.
Yeah, it feels way better.
Like it's like that was
way better.
Night and day different.
Yep.
Adding the cheek weld.
Yep.
And I don't care. This would be a tricky one because they have a carbon, like there's a carbon plank that runs down the middle of it. If you look online and at this Crest rifle, you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that I would want to drill it and then add.
Well, you don't have to drill right where that thing is. You just got to know where that is so you don't.
It's the whole length of this.
Oh.
It's up, down, all the way through the center.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to
Just
go
little
anywhere.
holes. Yeah, if it was going horizontal, you wouldn't want to hit it.
So
wow, your group's way better than mine.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I think you're going to be a better shooter generally. This, I don't think we can compare this because like the tripod, you fight the bipod the whole time. But, and then you called this shot. Your third shot was here, but then your fourth, that was 4, right?
Yeah.
Because you did 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then this side, you were like 1, 2.
Those were without the cheek. Yeah.
And then cheek, look at the difference though.
It's way better.
Throwing the cheek in. I mean, you were almost red all the way around.
Yeah.
And then that's
you're sub MOA there.
Yeah, but it's probably a 0.65.
Yeah, that's really good. You did much more justice to that rifle than I did.
Yeah, I'm telling you though, like I'm struggling because there's a couple rifles I really want to buy.
Yeah.
And I don't know that this one won't be. This is at the top of my list.
Yeah.
I really love the way it feels. I love the carbon. Like
yeah, It's a nice feeling rifle.
And the action is just butter.
What do those run like? Probably 25?
1800.
18?
Yeah.
So it's the same as a PH3.
What's that?
It's about the same as a PH3.
Yeah. I think technically the retail is like 2100, but like I think it's like 1899, 1849, something like that.
That's really good.
It's smooth.
Yeah. That's a lot of rifle for 1,800 bucks.
It is. And that trigger, I don't know if it's probably the same as the Seekins because I probably use the Trigger Tech.
Yeah, mine feels a little lighter than that, but it felt nice and crisp.
I can adjust it. This is as it came from the factory, and I pulled on it like on a little. I don't have a true one, but I used my archery scale.
Yeah.
And put a little string to it and pulled, and it was right at 2 pounds. So, and I think it goes down to 1.5 pounds. So if I want to take it down a couple ounces.
Yeah, nice.
But it's Trigger Tech, so it's not like
there's
no
the same
creep.
trigger.
It's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we got to pack out.
Yep. All right, so starting from worst to best, this is with the $20 bipod that I had to muscle around to keep level. That's with the bags. Both of these have no cheek. And this is with me with the bags with the cheek riser. It was a lot easier to keep that rifle steady. And then, and that's not a bad group, but it's definitely not one I'm proud of.
It'd be 1.3 or something.
Yeah. But Jared showed what that rifle was capable of right there.
Yeah, so I mean, that one, you're fighting the bipod and the rest the whole time. And that's a 2-inch. I mean, it's just under 2.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be
That's over 2.
Yeah, I mean, you're right outside of
it.
That was our third group. And then that, I mean, to me,
I'd be super happy with that if I was you.
Yeah. Which is interesting though, because we were kind of wondering if it was the ammo.
Right.
But I mean, we just showed like a couple different factors with like fighting a crappy bipod, like how much that can make a difference. To stacking sandbags, which that is, let me just tell you,
not
that's
ideal.
Not what you want.
Not ideal. And I never got sandbags. That's my excuse.
Yeah. All right. I'm not exactly sure where this leaves us. Wally is known as the OCD hunter inside the HuntLeague community. He is methodical and an excellent marksman, often turning in half MOA groups, whereas my norm is closer to 0.8 to maybe 1.25 inches with factory ammo. Now, I will say, over the past year and during this rifle build series, I have been shooting way more. I'm gaining confidence, and I even participated recently in my first ever rifle match. Now, in this specific series, we picked up 4 new Bergara rifles and optics with different budgets in mind. I can confidently say that I have shot more sub-MOA and even half MOA groups out of these Bergara rifles and even my son's $600 CVA Cascade XT this year than I have the rest of my life combined. That is with multiple scope and ring combos and optics ranging from, you know, the more affordable Arkin EPL4 to the Vortex Strike Eagle to the Burris Veracity PH and up to the Razor LHT, which is definitely one of my favorite all-time scopes for Western hunters. Now, if you've been following the series, you may have seen the recent video where we showed 5 everyday hunters shoot their current hunting rifles and we compared them against one of these new Bergara rifles. The group sizes were less than impressive, as not one single hunter turned in a sub-MOA 5-round group. However, each of them did happen to shoot a tighter group with the Bergara rifle over their current hunting rifle. Now, we did have some folks comment how this was staged to favor Bergara or how the shooters were all garbage, but I'm pretty sure Bergara would prefer that we even delete that video, as I can't say that the group sizes that were presented that day painted them in the best light, even though they were better than the existing hunting rifles. Now, even Wally's shooting today with this rifle was a bit of a mixed bag. What you didn't see is that this was towards the end of a long range day where we tinkered more with his Seekins Element rifle and we sighted in an AR with his new Arkin LPVO, which we'll post down the road. Now, after a long day of shooting, my group sizes, they often tend to kind of open up a little bit as I start to get sloppy, and I also start kind of anticipating that recoil just a little bit more. So let's give Wally a little grace, as he had shot dozens of shots before you saw me take mine. And those were my first and only shots of the day. Now, what did stick out to me, though, in this test specifically, was his reaction to settling into the rifle for the first time after we added the cheek riser.
I can hold way steadier with that.
Even though he wasn't necessarily happy with any of his groups, he did instantly feel more comfortable on the rifle, and with that cheek riser, he produced his only sub-MOA group in this test. So I do think that adds some validity. Now, what's the next step? Well, step one, as you can tell, is obviously we need to get a better bipod, and thankfully, a new Rider 9 bipod just arrived. If you've not heard or seen that bipod yet, you have to go check it out. We featured it as a top 5 gear item from the Mile High Hunt Expo, and then again in the latest Hunt League podcast, where you meet Hunter Larson, the owner of Rider Industries. Now, if only you could go to the range one time with one box of ammo and really get your questions answered. I think I'm actually leaving today with more questions, though, than answers. Is it the ammo? Is it the shooter? Is it the rest? Or is it just fatigue after a long day of shooting? We're going to have to circle back on this here soon, and we'll let you know what we learn. I appreciate you watching the video, and I want to invite you to join the conversation. If you happen to live in the Colorado Springs area, come join me in Magnum Shooting Center. Come shoot with me. Let's do some of these tests together. We have an awesome, growing community inside the Hunt League app with some really knowledgeable hunters where it's safe to ask questions, to share your stories, and to learn from one another. However, if your jam is to show the world just how much you know and knock every brand or manufacturer that you don't own, I want to invite you to stay right here on YouTube and Instagram and comment away. You can trash me, you can trash Wally, Bergara, factory ammo, indoor ranges, or Thursdays because they're somehow not as good as the other days of the week. We love you, and you're still allowed to comment, but just stay in this universe. Now, if you actually, though, have experience adding a cheek riser to your rifle, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Did it make a noticeable difference in your group sizes or add confidence for you at the range or on the hunt? The comb height on a rifle is something that I never really paid attention to growing up. But once you get that perfect alignment where you just line up, it makes such a huge difference. I find I settle in much faster and I get more relaxed and comfortable behind the rifle. All right, thanks for joining us again at the range, and we will see you back here real soon as we continue our rifle build series. Thanks for watching.